Greetings, everybody. This is Archangel Makintoch, aka Mikael Yis-RoyAl, from the 12 tribes of the Hebrew Israelites, Yis-RoyAl, from the tribe of Yehoiada and Loiah, Judah, and Levi. We come here to you now in the presence of the Almighty I Am that I Am present, Ahaya Shur Ahaya, for another vital video today. A very vital video today. Make sure that you have your pen and pad ready, because you're going to need to take some notes. We're going to be talking about certain things about the liens and what is lawful in this game that we're in. The system that we're in, what is lawful, the paperwork that you need to put into the public record in order to protect yourself from some of these financial and psychological predators that you call judges and trustees and secretaries and all this stuff. They have been pretty much, they've been pretty much breaching their duties and crossing their bounds and passing their limits pretty much, because people are not informed about their remedies, about their powers, about who they are. I am that I am. You must know who you are before you can even manage yourself in this game. You see what I'm saying? Who are you in this game? What type of character are you in this game? I know who I am, and I'm not this character that I play out physically. I am the character that I am spiritually. My spiritual characteristics. Who am I spiritually? Who are you spiritually? Who are them spiritually? You know, where do you guys stand? Are you guys even? Someone may be further or below? What do you feel? Because then you can, once you know who you are and where you stand in that position, and you know what your true strength is, then you can test the strength and the weakness of your opponent. You see? Because once you know who you are and you know who they are, the game begins. It'll be a back and forth tug of war until you can prove your claim, to prove what you are saying. You see what I'm saying? Like when someone say that they're humble, you gotta actually be humble. You have to have humility and integrity to sustain that humbleness. You see? And they will test you and pick at your humbleness until they can find a reason to rule against you, pretty much. So in this video, I'm gonna speak about it in a physical sense, but also mix it with spiritual sense, because it's a spiritual war, which means energetic. We're in an energetic war, not only with our own self, but also with these people. And they're trying to have power over us and trying to act like our parents, our custodian. You see, they're acting like they have custody of us and our children and our property, our houses, our assets, our belongings. These are all our private property. That is your portion. That is part of natural law, that you have the right to claim a piece of this earth, but not to yourself, but to use what's yours without asking permission from someone else who don't even own what's yours. You see what I'm saying? So there's a lot of tricks that they've been using against you guys. And it begins with the word called consent, and it begins with the other word called contract. Because contract and consent are the same thing. If you consent, you just agree to a contract. It's an agreement. Agreement is contract. Marriage, contract. Bonds, a contract. Promissory notes, all contracts. So, pardon me. So, with your silence, through your default status, where you don't know who you are and you're not claiming who you are, and you don't know your nationality, you don't know your true roots, you don't know your tribe, you don't know all that stuff, they go ahead and manipulate you. You see what I'm saying? They manipulate that situation and they use it against you. And then you just surrender to their will, because you don't know who you are, you don't know what to even say, and you know, you're ignorant. Not to say it like that, but we all come from ignorance, darkness, before we see the light, which is knowledge. You see? So the judge himself, he know the laws don't apply to you. He know the laws don't apply to you. He know the laws don't apply to anybody. The police, the officers, the sheriffs, all of them know the law don't apply to you. You know what I'm saying? But because you are silent, because you are passive, because you don't know how to assert your rights and speak properly and consistently and use the appropriate words that will register with their heart and mind, words that they're familiar with, they step on you. They do all types of things to you. They process you through the system and all that, give you tickets for no reason, all types of things. But those laws they're applying on you, those statutes, what are they? Why don't they just call them constitutional laws if you believe they're constitutional laws? If you're in America, wherever your constitution may be, because a constitution means contract. The contract of the land, the agreement between the people and the state. So if a statute ain't a constitutional law, what the heck is it? Who is it by if it ain't by and for the people in the state? Statutes are private corporate codes, and I always tell people that. They're private, they're corporate, which means they're fictitious, they're dead entities. A corporation is pretty much a dead nation, a nation of dead entities. The United States, in all caps, is a legal fiction. It's a dead entity, it's a corporation. You see what I'm saying? Because a dead entity, a being that don't exist, is fiction. And for some reason, it's legal to be fiction in the system. The judges function under a fictional title and status, with the all caps name and the title of nobility, calling him a judge or a president. You know what I'm saying? Things look like those are titles of nobility, because in a free world and where everyone's equal under the creator's son, the creator that created the sky, the creator that created the sun, the creator that created the moon, the creator that even created the candle and the fire, the creator that created this voice and the ability to do what we're doing today, is much greater than these people. And this is what they do not understand in the system, because we don't understand that ourselves, even though we claim we do. We claim we do. But when it comes to the paperwork and all that stuff, do you know how important it is to return paperwork or mail saying that you owe someone something back? Mailing it back to them with writing on it, pardon me. And you have to write on it, no contract, return to sender. If you don't know how important that is, to actually put that no contract, return to sender, and mail it back, certified mail, and keep that certified mail receipt, you see what I'm saying? Then you're in big trouble, because then they can get you in default. Then they can use that paperwork, that document, or whatever mail it can be. It can be about, hey, we're opening a new casino. If you don't write on it, no contract, return to sender, the hot potatoes in your hand. You're pretty much responsible for that paperwork now. Now, if they say that paperwork's worth $1 million and you haven't returned it back and say no contract, you're gonna pretty much owe them $1 million, because that's called a tacit agreement, a passive agreement. That's what a tacit agreement means. You thought it didn't really matter much to reply and say no contract or don't mail me, because you thought it was a robot sending it to you. You know, you're getting all this mail and it seems like the lawyer's office aren't really lawyer's offices, and the summons to go to court don't really seem like summons to go to court through the mail, but they really mean all these things. They mean everything. So if you don't know the power of mail and the power of mailing certain certified mail or registered mail through your United States Postal Office service or whatever your postal service office is, or at least getting evidence of the date and time that you sent the mail, because that's all certified mail is, you know, certifying that you sent at that date and that time. It's like a notary for mail. Then you're gonna have a lot of trouble if you don't do that, pardon me. So there's a lot of things I know and a lot of things to share, so you know, I might fluctuate in and out of concept a little bit to help you connect all the vines and all the puzzles and the dots together, like connecting the stars. Alright, so first of all, we all know already how we became enslaved. If you haven't seen some of my videos already, through the birth certificate and through the social security, we have became cattle. We have became property, another number, which is what the social identification number is. The social security number, which is the asset number, a social asset number. So you have a certain share a certain dividend or a certain piece of this game that we're in, which means you literally fund this illusion. You fund this fictitious world, the fictitious court, the fictitious firefighters, the fictitious police, the fictitious hospital. All these fictitious places are funded through your agreement to contract with the devil, with Satan, which is the government. They are the devil. I'm telling you, man. You must take everything I say in. They are the devil. They're selling to you what is free anyway. And they made it into a big business. And they hide behind suits instead of swords and shield like real conquerors and predators and emperors and stuff like that. Because that's all they are. You see, they're empire of fictitious people, corporations, nations of dead people. Not only dead fictitiously in the legal sense, but also dead in spirit. You know, to even create a world based in dead and depth. All that stuff has to do with going down. And that's why I always call them the devil. They will try and put you down. And when you don't have that idol dollar with their picture on it, the slave masters' pictures on it, Benjamin Franklin, some of the people's favorite, you know, George Washington, all them stuff, that's all the slave masters' face on it. You know, and they've been tricking even their own people. So yes, they all are slave masters. And if you don't have that, they make you feel like you're not worth anything. To the point where you feel like you need to chase dollars instead of using your creativity, your heart, and your intuition to manifest things and to deliberately visualize what you want to experience. What do you want to experience? Have you ever deliberately visualized that and really form a picture and go from scene to scene like you're watching a movie or a recorder in your mind of what you want to experience and how it feels right here, right now, in present? A higher. Feel that higher power, because that is your power. And so when people's distracted from that and they're chasing dollars, then the devil can take them low with them, with the debt. So now their heart goes down with their treasure, which is not their heart, you know, because if it's their heart and money goes down, money wasn't their heart anyway, so their heart stays up. But if your money is your heart and your money is your life and this material thing is everything to you, when they take it away from you, when they all crash and everything, it brings you down with it, because that's your heart. So therefore your heart is where your treasure is at, like the Creator says in the Holy Book. Ahaya has said that wherever your heart is, that is where your treasure is. So wherever your focus is where your treasure is. Not only is it just your treasure box and filled with your treasure, it's also all the stuff and the energy that you invest in it. See, so these people in the game, they invest a big interest in you. Not only through the birth certificate, through the stock market, because the birth certificate is the birth and the creation date of the corporation, when the dead entity, a fictitious entity, was born and birthed. Because the birth in admiralty, in the language of the Navy and the sea, is called putting a ship at an anchor down. To anchor it down, to stop it, to come at a stop. So a stop means you're not moving, and when you stop, that means you're dead. You see what I'm saying? So they pretty much turn people into dead zombies subconsciously in a way, and created an alter ego and an altered personality through this dollar thing. Because you can't be visualizing what you want to achieve and at the same time always focus on this narrow dollar thing. You know what I'm saying? Which is just a promissory note. It's a promise to pay. A promise to pay who and to pay what? You know, to pay us the gold and silver that they lost, because that's the thing that has value. And even that you're not supposed to stay too attached to. So we have completely lost our system. We have completely lost our value. This is not the beginning. We're actually near the end of it. We've been in it for a while, when it went unknown for a while, when now it's been disclosed and the truth is coming out and people's coming out of the closet, and the people are waking up, and you are waking up, and I'm waking up, and day by day we're waking up, and we're seeing more, and it's ridiculous. The world and the universe we live in, just so much possibility, so much to experience, so much to say, so much to do. So much is happening, so you got to kind of take it one bite at a time and one step at a time, like a ladder. And that's why I always begin with, who are you in this world of all these illusions? You're hallucinating that I'm talking to you right now. You think I'm talking to you right now. I think I'm talking to you right now. I'm looking into a freaking camera made from plastic and stuff, and it don't exist. And I'm sitting here in a room in front of a microphone thinking people's listening to me. Who am I? Where am I? Why am I hallucinating so much? How come the officers are hallucinating so much? They pull you over for driving in this illusion, in this free dream of yours, more than anything, where they don't even exist. Why is a judge trying to act like he is a party in the case, instead of acting like a judge, like someone who is refereeing and weighing out the evidence? You know what I'm saying? Why aren't the judges weighing out evidence? Why ain't why ain't anyone raising the idea in question of evidence and proof, contract and consent? Did you consent to having such a system like this? Is there a contract to prove it, even if you believe you did? It's a tacit agreement. It's a passive agreement. Therefore, this is why the system is the way it is, because it's a contract. If we don't disagree with what someone's doing, then we're agreeing with it in the meantime. You see, so that means it's you can nullify it, which means it's null and void. Nunc pro tunc ab initio, which means it's invalid. You know what I'm saying? It's void. It's nothing. It's 000 from the start, from the beginning. And so is this life, ab initio. You know, and it's infinitely nothing. You see, that's why everything moves in the formation of the circle, like your eyeball. You see, because we're whole, we're complete, we have everything we need. So alright, so let me go ahead and we're gonna begin talking from where we need to start from. Let me see. So alright, so the birth certificate is the birth of the corporation, of the dead entity. Therefore you have a corporation. The only problem to this is that you don't have proof that it's a corporation. The only way you have proof that it's a corporation is because the all caps name represents a straw man. And that straw man is just like a front man. Like Osama bin Laden was a straw man for the crimes that our government, or your government, the US government, was going to commit and blame on the Muslims and stuff, to have a reason to go intrude them and all that stuff and give them weapons and sell drugs and deal a bunch of stuff. So that's what straw man is to keep you distracted. So therefore, your straw man is a distraction. Instead of you knowing that, you think you're the straw man because you don't realize that there's a major difference. And a name spelled in all capital letters, capital M, capital A, capital K, capital I, capital N, capital capital T, capital O, capital C, capital H. There's a difference in that than upper and lower, uppercase M, and then lowercase a, lowercase k, upper and lowercase name. Because the all caps name, the name that's spelled in all caps represent a corporation, an object, or a thing. And you can say a person now, because person in the court, if you look in their law dictionary, means a corporation, which means your debt entity, a debt entity. You see what I'm saying? The debt entity is for debt. It's for paying off debt and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Even the promissory notes are nothing but debt. So we're in major debt. We're in major debt. We've been below zero for a while now. We're in hell now. And we're rising up. This with the whole beginning of the golden ages. Doesn't mean we're going to see a golden age yet, but we're seeing it happening and progress towards that way now, like everything's U-turning. Because like I said earlier, everyone's awakening. So therefore, knowing that a person means a corporation, and the birth certificate's corporation, the social security is the your card to securitize that fictitious thing, because it's your asset. It's what's going to help you make money and function in your game, in the system, because without the social and birth certificate, you can't work and you can't do certain things. You see what I'm saying? Which is wrong, but it's right, because you guys consented and contracted to having a game where you have to have, you know, a birth certificate. We consented to that, and we need to stop consenting to that, because the system and the free market belongs to us. We should be able to freely trade, buy, barter, and everything without asking for license and permission and all that. My portion's my portion. This candle's my candle. I can do what I want to do with it. How can someone walk into my territory, my being, my environment, and my energetic field and tell me what to do with my candle, with my thing? You see what I'm saying? Other than the Most High itself. Therefore, that's why you cannot be attached to all these material things, because it's spirit over matter, and where spirit is spirit that matters the most. Because without spirit, there is no matter. You see what I'm saying? Without spirit, there's no atoms, there's no energy, and there's no science without spirituality. So therefore, spirituality creates science. That's why science is so deep and complex, because it comes from spirituality, and there's a never ending to it. You see? So therefore, there's a science to what I'm saying. You see, there's a calculation, a logical calculation to all this, as well as an emotional, tactile strategy to approach this as well. So emotionally, you want to let them know that you are free man or a free woman on the land. Don't use the word sovereign unless you say spiritually sovereign, but I really wouldn't use the word sovereign, because they're warring with people based on that name, because that name been slandered, defamed, and abused and raped. Although we are sovereigns, we are free, we are royals, we are noble, we are kings and queens on our land. Literally, we set our own laws, we set our own rules. We can contract who we want to contract with, consent to what we want to consent to, and disagree with what we want to disagree with, as long as we're not injuring someone, as long as something's not damaged, as long as you didn't take something, and as long as nothing's removed. You see? So if you didn't cause those simple natural breaches of boundary, then you didn't break a law. They can't be using speed limits on you to arrest you for something that they think you could have done and make you feel sincere about it. Like, you could have hit a kid, you could have did this, you could have, like, what the fuck? Who gave you psychic abilities to read the future? You're prejudging the whole situation. So the whole system is based on prejudice. Once you show them a license, once you show them a birth certificate and social, they assume you're working for them. They assume that you are the straw man. They assume that you are their corporation, that you are the ship at the stop, that you are the vessel, that you are the property of that is that birth certificate, and therefore you're jammed. All these tickets and these statutes apply to you now, because statutes apply to that fictitious thing, not you. But because you don't know that's not you, they're implementing on you through your tacit agreement. So the way to stop this is through when they send you mail, anyone send you mail, make sure you read it thoroughly and thoroughly understand it, and read it word for word and get the meaning of each word for word. Break it down and try to get into the mind of the person who wrote the words to see what type of emotion they're trying to send across. And if you don't have a contract with them and they're saying you owe them this, you owe them that, for child support, for bills, for all this stuff, and they don't have a contract with you and you never consented to that, because we're not supposed to be paying bills every month. Bills is taxation, illegal taxation, or bills in tax is voluntary. You see what I'm saying? If it's not illegal, it's voluntary, which means you can make it legal. You see, because you didn't say nothing, it's legal. But, pardon me, let me see, hold on. Alright, because you don't have a contract with them and you didn't consent to them, even though you're paying bills and you're not supposed to, you can write on the bill, no contract, write in big letters diagonally, pardon me, at a 45-degree angle on the paper, saying no contract, return to sender. Return in certified mail. You know what I'm saying? I think the post office too usually can help you out with the return to sender too. They put this yellow note on it. You should ask your post office that how to return to sender, because that wasn't your mail. They got the wrong person. Once you do that, if they try to claim anything, before you send the paperwork back with no contract, return to sender, you want to make sure you have a few paperwork together to send also with it, which would be your trademark and copyright paperwork, because you need to trademark and copyright your name, the all caps name, because it is a corporation. You need to also become the power of attorney of that all caps name, that corporation, that legal fiction, by making a contract with it, because it's literally a different person. And it's funny that I'm saying it like this, because it's literally an altered ego. So it makes you seem kind of crazy when you speak about it in the system, and people who don't know about it, they use that against you to make you seem crazy. You see, like, there's something wrong with his head. He got split personality or altered ego. But this is what they did to us. This is what they did to you. But yet they're functioning fully under that fictitious identity, and they're convinced that you are fictitious. When you're existing, you're breathing, your life, your flesh and blood, you are natural. You see what I'm saying? You are a being of the Most High. You are a spirit having a human experience. Who can control your dream? Who is as mighty as the Most High I am? I do not know other than I am, that I am. And that's who I am. I'm anything but what anybody say to me, because that's external interference. And there is a law about interference. You cannot interfere in someone's life, and you cannot intrude on their space, and you cannot invade their privacy. They have done all that. And they committed perjury. They lie all the time and commit treason because they took an oath to uphold and protect the Constitution, people, and they're not doing it. And no one knows what to say, and they're trying to use the Constitution, but the Constitution don't apply to you. Why? Because the Constitution is for the state. It's for the police, the trustees, the state, the Secretary of Office, the treasuries, and all the people that we, the people, hired. So they wouldn't cross a certain boundary, which they way done past now. Below zero. Way past on the left. Far from right. It's far from righteous, far from honorable, it's very dishonorable. And they're forcing you without your consent. No consent means no consent. They're putting you under duress. They're stressing you, they're coercing you. You see what I'm saying? They're manipulating you and trying to use aggression and fear and psychology to make you feel spooked out, like you have to obey them. Okay, master, I'll suck your... That's what they're trying to do to y'all. What do I look like? That is serving two masters, my friend. You cannot serve spirit and you cannot serve the government at the same time. You see what I'm saying? You cannot serve them both. And both of them, the government and the Most High, come from nothing. You see? So everything comes from nothing. This is where your power is at. You create your contracts, you create your agreements, you create your trademark copyright paperwork. All you're doing is putting it in the form of an affidavit. And an affidavit is stating something under the penalties of perjury, penalties, the risk, because you gotta take risk if you're telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? You're risking everything. You see what I'm saying? To swear that this is truth. That's what affidavit is. Under the penalties of perjury, under y'all unlimited commercial liability. Y'all commercial, public, and private liability. So therefore, if they enter that, once you form the paperwork, the like say for instance, if you open your Word document thing, at the very top should be saying affidavit. Now sometimes people write affidavit of fact, some people write truth affidavit, some people write affidavit, sworn affidavit, or affidavit. It's all affidavit sworn under the penalty of perjury. You can just put affidavit, but I put mine specific. Sometimes I even use the word specific affidavit with negative averment, counterclaim, and opportunity to cure. You see, because the title represent what you're about to demand, what you're about to order, what you're about to manifest, what you're about to create from nothing, because you are the creator, you are the creditor. You see, you also want to make sure that you fixed up your status. You see what I'm saying? By becoming a secured party creditor. And I'm not sure if you should be really doing it through the UCC, although that's the way I've done it. The UCC is just a public international announcement, which means you're telling all the nations what is yours, which is very essential. But UCC is also a corporation. It's a fictitious thing. So, and it's a company, a private company. Therefore, it has its own rules. Because if you own a company, don't you own all the rules? If you own that straw man, and that straw man's a business and a corporation, and that's your Walmart, that's your building, that's your company, don't you have the right to do what you want to do with it? Can't you make any laws you want to make for those who want to work within it and contract with you? Well, this is what you're doing when you set your own conditional terms and agreements. You see what I'm saying? So you put affidavit of fact, whatever you want to put at the top, put the title, affidavit of fact. What is it? For trademark and copyright, for natural identification, for notice of intent, understanding claim of right, for power of attorney, for for whatchamacallit, for let me see, proof of event or proof of report, whatever you want to write as the title will be it. You can write affidavit of just speaking bullshit. You see what I'm saying? But the whole content of the paperwork would be about bullshit stated under penalties of perjury, which is affidavit, the crown. You see? So your title you put, then you date it, put the place where you put certified mail number, and put your certified mail number there, put your date there, and then get into the meat of what you want to say. First, begin with the introduction. That's the first thing you want to talk. Who are you? Here comes now, here and present, Archangel Michael. I am that I am, natural born man, in the name of the Most High, the Christ Yeshua. You know, whatever you want to say. Me, that's when I'm just, speaking out. Here I come now, natural spirit, spiritual being, enjoying his human experience. Non-statute a man, whatever, just put your introduction. You see, secure party creditor, trademark and copyright owner, power of attorney of this fictitious entity, blah yada yada. Just make it like what you are, whoever you are. Me, I wouldn't go all out like that. I'll talk a little bit more normal. I wouldn't get into the whole spiritual thing, but who knows, maybe you can. It's your life. You can impact them any way you want to impact their soul, heart, and being, because you got to come across to them and appeal to them through your words. You see, you got to kind of make them want to read it. You see what I'm saying? And then put your age. I'm competent of stating this and that. I am swearing this is truth under the penalties of perjury, and I request for the respondent to also enter under the penalties of perjury, blah blah blah, things like that. Penalties of perjury mean if they lie, they risk everything. You see, so that's what perjury mean. If they lie, they risk everything. If they commit treason, they surrender their office, because their oath says if they commit treason, their oath of office is done. They're no longer someone to be in office, or they no longer have an office or a position to work for us anymore, because they broke the law. They have breached our private space, our boundaries, legally, lawfully, and naturally, as well as spiritually, because the spirit goes through a lot when it's being beaten down by batons and thrown in jail for traffic tickets and things like that, and being harassed and having guns and tasers pulled out on you. The spirit goes through a lot and stuff experiencing this. Not only does the body but it also affects the emotions. So they're committing a lot of emotional distress all across the earth. That's vibrating all through the web of human existence, because no one's standing up and saying, you can't do this no more. You guys have to give up your baton, give up your gun, give up your badge, give up your suit, because you do not represent us. You do not represent America, the USA. You do not represent whatever country we're in. You do not represent a form of a leader or type of a leader that we want representing us and standing up for us and claiming that they work for us, because you guys are dishonorable. You're treasonous. You're perjurers. You are adulterers, fornicators. You are blasphemous, claiming you are judge and God and superior and president over the human society of the Most High Spirit, which the Spirit of the Most High, which is the pure white light we are, is the creator and owner of this whole thing. It is the creator and owner of this whole thing. It is the only sovereign of this whole thing. It is the creditor and the creator of this whole thing. We are co-creators. We are borrowing from the universe. We are borrowing from the Most High. You think the Most High might not come after you for all the things that you stole from the people that borrowed it from him? You're stealing things that are borrowed, and we all clinging on to things that's borrowed. My words are borrowed. My breath is borrowed. Everything's borrowed. My child's borrowed. Everything's borrowed. It is a gift, you see, and one day we have to return it back. You see, but the Most High is honorable to his promise. That's why it keeps his promise, and it remains honorable, and it believes in truth and justice and honesty and light and peace. You see what I'm saying? The government represents war and deception and trickery and lies and a whole bunch more of deception and just psychological warfare. And they're fucking with your mind and making you afraid and making you shake, using the lights on you and woo 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 woo, like there's panic and chaos. So now you're like, oh, popping every time you see police. You see them, you're like, You just, you know, turn your head, and deep inside, most of us feel this way, and we're afraid to even admit that sometimes that fear exists. That's why it builds more, because then we ignore it and it pile up, and we know the judge doing wrong things, using words you don't understand, using the language of legalese on you, and you don't really fully comprehend what they're saying, and they don't even give you an honest space and time to tell you the definitions of the words that they're using. Like foreclosed, to foreclose is closing on you, is being closed, is foreclosed, which means it's not closing yet, it's for being closed. But how can it be for being closed when it belongs to me? So all these things help you beat all types of things in the system. So everything first starts with the affidavit. So you got your introduction, then in the meat of it you write 1, I am the trademark and copyright owner. 2, you guys don't have permission for me to be using my copywritten property. You guys owe me about $10 billion, like stated in Exhibit B, which mean in your copyright paper, because you have to make sure you have your copyright paper done, your power of attorney paper done, your secure creditor paper done, your status change done. And even if you don't do all that, make sure that you at least do the affidavit and tell them that you have nothing to do with that entity. So if you're not the trademark and copyright owner, and you're not that entity, and you have no contract with the government, and you don't even know that was a corporation, you know what I'm saying? You could just write a contract affidavit stating that. You see what I'm saying? They don't need to connect it to you at all. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to be responsible for it at all. But because you are the birth certificate holder and all that stuff, you do want to copyright and trademark it eventually, and do that to be on the offense side. But on the meat of it, yeah, you're right. Everything, all your proof, all your evidence, have your evidence, you know. And after you send the affidavit with the no contract and return to sender written on whatever paperwork they send you, you know what I'm saying? Or they can, and also write on it proof of contract required. You see what I'm saying? For validation, something along that line on it. Send it certified mail. Keep the certified mail receipt or registered mail receipt. Certified mail is for keeping it public. Registered mail is for keeping things private. You see what I'm saying? And if they don't reply, you put a date, before you send off the affidavit, get it notarized. Probably like $5 or $10 and stuff. Get it notarized. You can go to check cashing place, to the court, different places to get it notarized, unless you know a personal notary. By the way, I don't give legal advice. I give lawful advice to disclose to you guys. I share what I know and what is natural, what is common, what has worked for me, and what I have experienced, because I've been through a lot in this system and game, and I am part of this so-called freedom movement, free men on the land movement, you know, and sometimes I hesitate sharing information with people because some people don't appreciate it, you know, and it's not like I'm asking for gifts or donations and things like that. But sometimes people don't even say thank you or I appreciate it, or even the spiritual gift, because I love spiritual gifts. This is a spiritual gift to you, as knowledge. Right now I'm setting you free. You see what I'm saying? This is going to set your whole life free. So this is a gift, even though I can't really give you anything physically. But those who can, they know that they can, and they just don't think of it like that. But then they go buy all these people who don't care about them supply, their food, their music, their DVDs, movies. Just spend time learning bullshit and watching bullshit. You know, they're not learning how to free themselves and realize the system that they live in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over here doing it and stuff, and sometimes I hesitate of sharing things because I'm putting myself on the line, by the way, all the time, at risk. A lot of people been killed for sharing this information, and a lot of people charge thousands of dollars for this, and I give it for free like it's nothing but juice or nothing but water, and people consume it and never necessarily give back or share or help build and stack energy and connect and network, you know, because I love networking and doing that thing, doing stuff like that, and link up with people. By the way, my school should be done soon. The spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of Mother Earth. The spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of Mother Earth, which is spiritually sovereign. I see me. Spiritually sovereign. I see me. Indigenous creditors of Mother Earth. And I'm gonna be teaching you guys a lot of stuff, abundance of stuff, for as long as I can, because eventually when we're under martial law and they cut off this electricity and they cut off the internet, which they're about to do, implement martial law fully and start kicking down doors, and all the guns are gone, the Russian armies come in, China come in, Islam's already here, Muslims here, and they come in, it's gonna be game over, you know. So enjoy this information for as long as you can, because it's about to completely change, completely shift. So your affidavit right now in this system, until that happened, focusing on the now, here, and present, letting the future worry about the future, leaving the past in the past, and focusing on now, and getting all your paperwork completed, and freeing yourself from Social Security, from child support, freeing yourself from bills, freeing yourself from having to pay mortgages and all this stuff. You must know that your birth certificate and your social also represent that you are a creditor, you see, which means you fund the system. You're not the entity, you credit the entity, you fund the entity. And that's why it's important to do the UCC, the Uniform Commercial Code, public announcement file statement with the debtor, the all caps named straw man, and to make sure that you do an affidavit of fictitious entity existence, or denial of corporate existence. You see what I'm saying? To deny that it even exists. You see what I'm saying? And put the name of the entity in there. You see? Because then when you're using the name, you're letting them know it don't exist. It's a straw man, it's a scapegoat, but you're using it to conduct business and to sue and to be sued, to get jobs and things like that. It's a transmitting utility, and on the UCC you can do that. It has a box where you fill in where it says transmitting utility. That means it goes in and out of form. It's whatever you want it to be. You see what I'm saying? Or you can just make it into a business by going to irs.gov and get an EIN number and put your all caps name as the name of the business. Now you have proof, even through the IRS, that it's a business and stuff, like registering a sole proprietorship or a corporation or a trust or a estate or whatever it may be that you're opening and stuff. And then you can use it as a business from there, or as a trust account. Me, I use mine as a trust account because that's what it is. I have a trust account with the trustee at the Secretary of State. You see, because the Secretary of Treasury, the Secretary of the Treasury, where all our treasure used to be, our gold and silver, but now it's the Federal Reserve Treasury now, which means the Federal Reserve took over the People's Treasury now. It's not the People's Treasury, it's the Federal Reserve's Treasury, which means they took our shit, they're bullying us, and they're selling it back to us. So they're very evil. That's why I said we made a deal with the devil through the birth certificate and social. And once you're in it, there's no way out. You're sold forever. And if you don't have it, then you can't be traced, which means it's easier for them to lose you in the system and do things to you and stuff because you're not in the system. You see what I'm saying? So like it's very bad. It's very bad. There's a forced alter ego going on, a false identity and presence happening. And every time we go to work, we're functioning as the straw man, and they're calling the all cap straw man, "Hey, Makintoch, come here." You know what I'm saying? But then I think they're calling me the upper and lowercase name, but they're calling the all caps name. You see what I'm saying? And I'm always responding to that name. That's what gets you stuck. That's consent. When you go to court and you pass the bars and enter the ship in Admiralty, you know, when you leave the land and cross the bars in the court and enter the sea, and you give the captain, which is the judge, dominion over you, they can pretty much do what they want to do to you. You see what I'm saying? They can do what they want to do to you. But if you don't pass that bar and you stay behind that bar, you're still in the natural law, the common law, the natural land. So you got to make sure, even with the judge, you have to speak to them behind the bar, because they live in their imagination as well. They believe we're on the sea. And the proof to that is their flags. They have a yellow fringe around it, a yellow frame. And that frame represents the military of the U.S. You see, your Admiralty. And now the Bar Association pretty much own the whole court system, the judicial system. And the Bar Association is just the British Admiralty, B for bar, or British. Bar means bar. You're stuck in a bar, like the bar code and the zip code is zipping you up. You're dead now when you're in the cold, locked up, sealed, and secrecy, all this stuff, this voodoo and secret voodoo shit they're doing on you and junk, you know. But pardon me, let me see, zip code. Alright, so the bar stands for British Admiralty Registry, which means you register through the birth certificate to be on the sea, through your dead entity, the straw man, and now you are in Admiralty, which means you live across sea. Where across sea specifically? The District of Columbia. The all caps lettered spelled District of Columbia, which is headquartered in Washington D.C., Washington District of Columbia, but District of Columbia come from Columbia, from somewhere else. So our whole system is infiltrated and invaded by aliens with foreign laws that's foreign to the Constitution, foreign to natural law, foreign to the Ten Commandments, for the most highest sake. You know what I'm saying? Just breaking all laws, passing our boundaries, and people don't know what to say and do because they don't know how to make affidavits. They don't know how to prove what they're saying, and they don't know how to just simply raise up the fact of where's your proof, where's the evidence of what you're saying. If you say I owe you $1 million and I owe you money, where's your proof? Where's your evidence that your statutes apply to me? Where's the contract that I made with you saying that I consent to such outrageous law made by a man, by someone who's equal to me? You know what I'm saying? Where's that consent? Where's the authorization for you to implement something on me without my permission? Do you know that you were invading my space? That you were injuring me? All these things can lead to you suing them and putting liens on them and warning them and getting it on it for the record and putting your paperwork into the record in the system before your court date, days before your court date, even months if you can, and to prove your place. Although they're not honoring much of this stuff anymore because they know we don't know the truth, and so now they became even more confident bullies, now they're starting to beat up on the other bullies. You see what I'm saying? Those who are bullies that don't want to bully people. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you can say I'm a bully because I know a lot. You see, I know just as much as them, but they're squashing me because I'm one of them bullies that don't like the bully. I actually use my information that I can use to bully people with liens and sue them and have them give up their property and give up everything they have to fulfill their indebtedness to me because they committed common law tort on me. They bully me now. You see, they bullying people like Robert Menard, Dean Clifford, what's his name, man? Man, I wish. Tim Turner. All these people, they're bullying all of us like they bullied Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Yeshua, which people call Christ. How they bullied all these people, man. Because we're bullies don't mean it's just a metaphor I'm using. Because we're bullies, which means we can use the power we have to pick on these weaker bullies. Because these bullies are the government. You see, so it's bully versus bully now. When after all the bullies that want to be bully and don't want to be bullies fight each other, they're gonna go ahead and kill the other people. You see what I'm saying? If the bullies that don't want to be bullies lose, if we good people lose against these bullies, pretty much, they're gonna pretty much go ahead and control everyone else and bully them for the rest of their life, and they won't fight back because no one knows how to bully back, legally speaking, talking about contract and everything. So I hope you guys are getting my metaphors and the parables. By the way, it's nighttime, that's why it's a little bit dark. But yeah, man, so we do have remedies. First of all, without your consent, there's no contract. Without a contract and no consent, there's no jurisdiction. Jurisdiction means the authority to enforce something on you. Where's the authority? What paperwork do you have giving you the authority to say what you're saying? Even if you were ordered to say that, where's the proof? Where's the order? And can you describe it to me in full definition, here, now, and present? Because I need full disclosure. If there's no full disclosure, whatever contract we did have or we're going to have is null and void. And I do not want a contract with you. I do not consent to this offer to contract. And I conditionally accept your claims if and only if you can prove it on and for the record that we have a contract or that I consented. Some type of audio or phone call or something. Where's your proof? Because this is my proof on it for the record. I'm saying I did not consent, I did not contract, and you're possibly injuring me right now in front of the people here in this courtroom. You see what I'm saying? And there's just many things to say, so don't get caught up on like just one way. Just know who you are first. Just know who you are. I am that I am. What is your name? I am that I am. I don't have a name. I don't have a name. I can't hold a name. How can I have a name? I don't even have hands. I am using these hands. I am using these hands. I don't even have a spirit. I am spirit. I don't have anything. How can I have anything? And on top of that, a name means a fictitious title. That's all it means. It means a fictitious title. Yeah, we're all given a fictitious title from birth because people are crazy and they love to label things and judge things and title things. So yeah, your crazy ass parents named you something. And my crazy ass named my child something. You know, and their crazy ass is trying to say you're one thing, one word or the other, but they're just words. I'm not these words. I am that I am. You know what I'm saying? I am spirit. It's the closest it's the closest way I can get to what I am through words, is that I am that I am. That's the closest I can get to it, but what I am and who I am and how I am is for me. You see, that's my portion. That's my joy. And you have your own joy. So therefore, we must also come in peace and understanding as people. You see, that's the other side to being spiritually sovereign. You must know how to touch the heart. You must know how to humble yourself and also be firm. Like someone who know what they're saying, and they're intelligent, they're wise, and they peep deception and will point it out in such a way that is slick and subliminal. They cannot really build anger to it, even if they wish they could. Just stating facts. I conditionally accept all your charges and give you $1 million if you can prove that I have a valid contract with you, a valid bilateral contract where I wrote a contract to them and they signed their signature, and they wrote a contract for me and I signed my signature. A bilateral contract. You see, now if they don't have that, I am walking out of here now, because there's no jurisdiction. And without jurisdiction, there's no subject matter. That's SMJ, subject matter jurisdiction. Because where you getting a subject from if there's no contract? The subject should be coming from the title of the affidavit. That's the point. Now, if you have an affidavit and a counterclaim and all that, that becomes the subject matter now, there and then. Like, hey, I wrote you an affidavit. Have you read my affidavit yet? That's all you need to ask, because you did all you can to properly communicate with these so-called humans that are not supposed to be zombies and robots, you know what I'm saying, that are strict and rigid and stuff based on their little rules and stuff that only apply to them, you know what I'm saying? You repeat to them and keep them focused on what you are intending for them to feel and see. Did you read my affidavit yet? Do I have a contract with you? I do not consent to this conversation, this proceeding. I have not consented to anything here. I conditionally accept being here and all your charges if and only if you can prove your claim. Do you have evidence? Do you have proof? Have you read my affidavit? I stated that on there. So you're still repeating the affidavit, and do it peacefully, timely. Let them speak and air their self out. They're going to keep saying what they're saying to alter your view again. Oh, well, we have these charges on you, statute code 959, and you have broke it. And they'll talk to the lawyers that works for them too, because the lawyers work for them, the attorneys work for them, their attorneys work for them. Some don't, some don't. And the bar association attorneys and public defenders work for them, so they turn to them and be like, yeah, they broke code 95 2000 blah 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 98 blah blah blah. And of course the public defender will know, because they go to school to learn all that bullshit too. School is what pre-programs these people like that, so they're victims, these judges and these people. They forgot who they are. They forgot what life and love is, and liberty and freedom and justice and honor, and why it works for everyone, for you, for me, and for the whole globe and the web that we're connected to energetically, metaphysically, and quantumly. So you keep repeating to them, have you read my affidavit yet? I wrote your affidavit stated under the penalties of perjury. I have the return receipt right here. This gentleman over here or lady right here has not responded. I do not consent to being in admiralty jurisdiction, therefore I'm staying behind these bars and reserving all my common law rights here, now, and present. You know, and on it for the record, I am that I am. I don't have a name. I don't have a body. I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and I am competent enough to be stating these facts as such. This is my religious belief, and this is my religious creed and conviction. Therefore, I have a right to my spirituality in the name of the Most High. Things like that, you know, but that's too much. But I'm giving you all the things that you can kind of say, the feeling you need to have. You know, this is my body, this is my property, this is my straw man, this is my legal fiction, this is my house. You know, this is my children, this is my fucking shit. Who the fuck are they? This is my car. Why do I need a license? This is my automobile. This is my locomotive. This is my creation. This is my dream. Why I gotta ask you for permission? You must be a persecution. You must be a tick. And there's many of you politics. Trying to govern my mental? I govern my mental. I am autonomous. I am spiritually sovereign, and I am in the image of my creator. The light that reflects within us all. The light that had manifested me. the light that I am. And that light represents knowledge and wisdom. Therefore, it will set you free. I talk about these things a lot in my video, you know, and I teach you guys how to do all these things. Pardon me. Pardon me. Making sure everything's fine. Hold on one sec, guys. Yeah, but that's your property. What is yours. And consents, contracts. So all these things you want to state in your affidavit. So now your affidavit is the initial step you need to take in order to get towards a lien. So now after they don't rebut the affidavit within the time you stipulated, the minimum amount of day and time you can give them to reply is 72 hours, which is 3 days maximum. Also, when they give you a ticket, when they give you a summons, when someone sends you a bill with anything, you have 3 days maximum. You have 72 hours to say no contract, return the sender, contract needed to validate claim. Whatever you want to write, and send a certified mail with your supposedly trademark copyright affidavits, power of attorney affidavits, and whatever you need to prove your stance in what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? If they don't reply within that time, 3 days minimum, 30 days maximum, then you can send them a notice of default. Now they are dead. Now they are non-existent. Now they're in default. Now they have admitted that they committed everything you stated in the affidavit as truth. You see what I'm saying? And they have to live up to the penalties and the cost that you put in your affidavit. Because in your affidavit you want to put penalties. If you do not rebut this in 30 days or in 10 days, I will put a lien on your house and garnish your wages. I will take your children or whatever, your private, public property, all that stuff, if you do not rebut. And the unrebutted affidavit stands as truth in commerce. And an unrebutted affidavit is admittance of guilt. You see, and you put that and they don't rebut, they have admitted everything you said in that paperwork. That is the magic of the affidavit. And you can make an affidavit any way you like, but make sure you include everything you need. Penalties, introduction, who are you, who's speaking, where you stand, what is your status, natural, artificial, impropriate persona, sui juris, you know, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Free man on the land, sovereign, royal, noble, different nationality, you know, put your nationality, all that stuff there, without zip codes and stuff, no codes, because those codes will mess you up. Even though a lot of people use UCC codes, I kind of don't use that anymore, because why do I need their codes to claim my natural common law rights? And if I'm a creditor, why do I need to go through their system to claim that? All I need to do is write it in the form of affidavit, put it in public record, and boom, I'm done. That's all I need. Everyone know I'm a creditor now and all that. But the UCC does help out a lot, so I'm not going to fully discredit it, because I do kind of use it. But it's a trick. It's a trick. It's another deal with the devil, because the U.S. Incorporated, international, intercontinental, extraterrestrial, govern your mental politics, and vampires and werewolves pretty much run it all. You see what I'm saying? They run that whole UCC concept. You see, it's part of their uniform. The Uniform Commercial Code is part of their one world order. You see, and it connects with the United Nations and all this stuff. And so, like, it's deep. You can use it for big things, and you can use it to fuck up everything. You see, and a lot of people use this to claim people's houses and property, to be birth certificate, to be child support, all that with the UCC. Becoming a secure party creditor through having a commercial security affidavit agreement with the straw man. And it gives you everything in collateral in that commercial agreement. I talk about it in my video. You can find it at www.youtube.com/one Archangel Makintoch. 1, the numerical symbol 1, Archangel, ARCHANGL, Makintoch, MAKINTOCH. And go through my videos there, because I talk about a lot of stuff about the law, the acceptance for value, how to do all that, and that plays a big role too. especially when you do owe a bill and you do have a contract. The way to discharge that is using your social security, which is your account number, your trust. And first of all, you have to build a trust account with the Secretary of Treasury by appointing them to be your fiduciary or to be your trustee, someone to watch over your assets. You see, your security, because your security is your assets. This is what makes you secure in life. You see your assets, and you appoint them to be a trustee as a grantor, and you can direct yourself or anyone to be a beneficiary, which is the party who is benefiting from the trust. And now when you do that, now you have turned your social security and your birth certificate into the corporation it was supposed to be in the beginning. But they didn't take all these steps and take you through all these ways and paperwork to form the business. They just did the birth certificate and left it unclaimed and didn't fully build it. You see, so that's why it's good to go to irs.gov to make into a business, or write an article of organization or article of corporate existence in an affidavit form. Write down you have a corporation. What's the corporation? What's your rules? What's your constitution? Everything. Get it notarized. Send it to your Secretary of State, in the Department of State. Get it apostilled, which is like $10, which means certified now from the Secretary of State. And now you can lawfully actually use your corporation now. You see? And once you turn that name into a corporation, either way, through the IRS or through the article of organization, affidavit of corporate existence, you see what I'm saying? Then you can turn it into a trust. You can even say it's an affidavit of a trust. You see what I'm saying? Of a trust account, a beneficiary to fiduciary account, whatever you want to call it, or CESTQ trust, beneficiary trust. And you can use your birth certificate and your social security as a discharging agent. To actually, you can use the straw man to discharge debt, to use it to conduct business, to beat charges, to use it as a front man, as a shield, to use it as your ship in the sea of commerce, commercial activity and money and buying, unless you're gonna drown in commerce and stuff in the sea of selling and buying and stuff, because that's all they're doing to you in there. They're selling and buying things, and everyone in the court system is creditors and debtors, and policemen are debtors because their creditor is their master, whoever they contracted with, and whoever contract with someone is always having a debtor-creditor relationship with them, with that person, like employer to employee relationship, trustee to grantor relationship. You see what I'm saying? Power of attorney to client relationship. The client's actually the one in charge. You're not really the client of the lawyer. The lawyer is actually the client of the client. You see what I'm saying? Because the client is the one hiring the lawyer. You see what I'm saying? And you can fire whoever try to represent you through an affidavit of revocation of contract or denial of contract. Once again, you can switch the titles all you want, get that notarized and send it to them and stuff, and tell them you're fired. If I hired you by accident, tacitly, adhesively, on purpose, or whatever it may be, I terminate our contract now. You have 30 days to rebut this and to prove that we have a contract and that I can't do this, or whatever you're going to say. And if you don't, this contract's null and void by then. And during that time, I do not need to comply with your terms and conditions. You're telling me to pay your bills and child support and social security and all this stuff and taxes and stuff if you cannot prove your claim. So if you want me to pay you, sue me by rebutting my affidavit first. Disagree with what I said. If you don't, I'm gonna bring it as evidence into the court. And that same paperwork you have seen that you don't want to rebut and stuff and want to sue me over, that's the one I'm gonna use against you as my evidence and proof, with my return receipt and your signature on the return signature card. You see, on the return signature green card. I think it's 3860, but I'm not sure. I have it somewhere around here. But there's a lot of things that you need to do. Not really a lot of things. It's really simple. No contract, no consent, affidavits, things like that. But the lien now, after you write them a notice of default or a notice of dishonor or a notice of non-response, then you can enforce everything you said in that paper. This is where nothing became into something, and they didn't rebut it. Now it's manifesting into what it needs to manifest in order for it to be enforced. Now everything you said in the paperwork is about to come to life. So that's why when you write the affidavits and your contracts, your agreements and paperwork, you have to include everything that you want to bring to life. Even when you write your constitutions and your laws, your bylaws, and your rules as part of your jurisdiction, within your corporate rule and your corporate existence and your corporate affidavits, you have to make it everything that you would want it to be. It's literally a fantasy, but a physical fantasy. You see, it's not necessarily a spiritual fantasy, although that's mixed with it. You're visualizing a physical fantasy. How do you want to live? What type of business you want? What is this business to you? What does it mean to you? How much does it mean to you? Where do you want it to start heading? How does it secure you? What does it protect you? How much is it value? The asset of it. Because all this is how you sell your man and keep your man, your straw man, your legal fiction, all that stuff through the stock market, like how they do, and invest in yourself and invest in your case. Because your case number is an account number. Your social security is an account number. Well, not the social security, the number on the back of your social security number. Because it has a routing number and account number. The letter that is on the back of your social security account, on the lower back, it's in red. That the letter that's there is connected to one of the 12 Federal Reserve banks, which connects you to one of the routing numbers. The routing number is the bank that you're routing the money from. So this is how you can use the acceptance for value to accept something as valuable, although it's not in the world of promises and promissory notes and promise to pays and bonds and agreements and contracts and consent. You accept the bill, the fictitious numbers is value. And you have an account which is based on full credit according to HJR 192, House Joint 192 of June 5th. You feel me? You can actually discharge your debt through the Social Security account. And that's our agreement with them. We pay off your debt. We pay off your national debt. We become taxpayers. You give us benefits. And you also discharge our debt and secure us in your constitution and not breach a certain law and certain things like that. You see? And they've breached all of them. They breached all of them only because we didn't know we had such a deal with them. So simple. A trust. The whole Social Security is a trust. That's what corporation is, a trust. The United States Incorporated is a trust. The Moor Science Temple is a trust. All these places are trusts. They're functioning under corporations and trusts. Trustee, beneficiary, and all that. And that's another way how you secure your property. When you convey your private property to your trustee. Because as a grantor, the trustee is supposed to be protecting your property. It's supposed to be protecting your asset like a bank clerk. Or when you go to the bank and you put your money in the bank clerk is in charge of your asset, of your money. That's what a trustee is. That's what a judge is. That's what a police is. They're supposed to be protecting your asset, not stealing it from you, not taking it from you. Therefore, you must raise up these questions in a peaceful, honorable, but firm way. And this is true spiritual sovereignty. And you cannot back down. You must love to stand up for your freedom. You must love being who you are and expressing who you are and knowing your rights to do what you want to do, just as long as you do not hurt anybody in any way, shape, manner, or form. What have they done to you by putting you in handcuffs, hurting your wrist, and putting a gun up to you and putting on scary lights and bringing you to court, suing you for half of the money you have? Ain't that fair? Ain't that coercion? Ain't that satanic? Because that's not love. That ain't the Most High Divine. That ain't God. That ain't Ahaya. That is not Yeshaya. That's not love or light. Therefore, those who have light must radiate it, and it begins with this knowledge. Who are you? Who am I? Who am I in this crazy illusion, this game? This game of people thinking they rule me and they own me. A game where people think they can tell me what to do and when to do it and expect me to do it. In a world where we feel feelings and emotions and we feel things. And we should be treating people with love and respect and honor and truth and justice. Whatever happened to those words? Now just pride and ego and me and dollars and numbers and commas and zeros, all this stuff. This material bullshit that never came with you, don't leave with you, and don't belong to you, because the Most High owned all this. And they had inherited it and gave it to the chosen ones of Israel, Yis-RoyAl, the 12 tribes of Israel, and the tribe of Isaac, as an inheritance in this final testament and will. It's final testimony and will. Therefore, you need to have a will and testament as well. If something's in your will and testament, and these people who's trying to touch your stuff ain't even a beneficiary to be touching your property as well, in the will and will and testament, in your last testament, then what the heck are they doing? And a will and inheritance goes to the beneficiary, the person who's appointed to get the inheritance. Well, that's what our Creator did. It gave us all this planet, this world. We have dominion over this planet, and it said this. Everyone do. Mainly a certain group of people, because they were able to help other people realize this. Because the other group of people don't want their people to realize this. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like it just belongs to Hebrew Israelites. The Yis-RoyAl, the inheritance belongs to us only, the chosen people. But it also belongs to everyone. That's why the Creator chose us to tell this to everyone. No one's exempt from the Most High's love. We all are embraced by the Most High's love. No matter how bad, wicked, evil some people are, the Most High light is still waiting for them. But they cannot see it without being clean first, so the light will eradicate them. It will burst through their skin and make them pretty much blast. Because that pure white light, most people can't contain it. And that pure darkness, most people can't contain it too. It'll make you throw up. So we're a mix of both, if you see what I'm saying. But some of us are more on one side than the other. But technically, we need to get back to point zero, to get in the center, to be a little aggressive and a little loving, a little bit, firm, and a little bit gentle. A mix of everything. A little bit of sun, a little bit of moon, a little bit of water, a little bit of fire, a little bit of rock, a little bit of air. A little bit of everything. You got to know your elements. Because spiritually, your elements is supposed to connect you to all these elements of the flesh and the elements of this physical world. You see? So if you know your elements and your directions north, south, east, west is your element. If you know how to stand your 4-square element, your 4 squares, and stand your ground and stay on your own 4s like a 4-wheeler, and know who you are, I am, and stay rooted to what you want to say and get across, you'll be able to beat many cases. You'll be able to use this as a form of intellect and knowledge to make your own contracts, affidavits, and liens out of nowhere. You see? And this is how it's all created. There's not a specific way to do it. It's all about knowing how to assert your rights. Now, if you don't know how to assert your rights, okay, then come ask me or ask someone else for help. You see what I'm saying? Then we'll get you there, or we should be getting you there. But not to be doing it for you forever, because the power is in you. You are the creditor, you are the creator, and you are the one who owns your property. What is yours, your consent's your consent, your will's your will, your truth is your truth. Who can interfere? Who can interfere with these things? So this is how you beat the whole system. This is how you beat these court cases. And if you don't, you spiritually beat it. You don't let it get to you, because you're not this body anyway. What has to be done will be done. So if I got to go to jail to pretty much assert my rights and break free from going to jail, I pretty much didn't have a chance at the start. I better say the truth and say what I need to say before what happens. Because what's going to happen is going to happen. You just need to know how to do it honorably and with integrity and compassionately and from a detached point of view without being so attached to everything. Because guess what? The Most High is a Most High of faith. It will free you. It will deliver you from your enemy and set you free. It will have that bill paid off. It will lead you to the fountain of knowledge, and you will find that knowledge and consume it and drink it and reproduce more of it to be fruitful and multiply with it and free yourself. Because the truth, Yeshaya, the truth will set you free. Yeshaya, the truth will set you free. The truth is your salvation. You see, in Ahaya, I am that I am. You got to know who you are. Ahaya Shar Ahaya. So after you send, you have to send 3 different forms of notices of default, dishonor, and notices of non-response. And to give them enough time, you got to be fair, and that's part of the Fair Debt and Collections Act. The Fair Debt and Collections Act, I believe that's what it's called, FDCA or something, FDCA, Fair Debt, pardon me, the Fair Debt Ah, man, I just forgot it, but it doesn't matter though. But yeah, it's this fair debt thing. You have 3 days minimum or maximum to give them to rebut a contract. Same to you. And if they don't rebut the affidavits, each time you send it to them within 30 days or 3 days, whatever you want to do, now you can enforce it. You can make a lien now. And then this lien will be in the form of an affidavit where you state everything that you had and all your affidavits, the first affidavit, the claim, and stating who you are, your introduction, the notices of default, all the certified receipts, because you're going to need all the certified receipts. You're going to put them in a lien, and you're going to put all their property that you're going to take as collateral, claim as collateral, now that they're in default, now that they're dead, now that they're out of birth, that they're not moving, they're anchored down because they didn't reply. You can take everything that they have. You can sell it to the IRS, do what you want, everything. And it's through the affidavits, you warn them before you do it, and if they don't reply, you do it. And this is what they do to you when you don't rebut their affidavits, which means disagree with their affidavits. You know, disapprove and discharge and dishonor, I mean not dishonor, but disapprove, to disprove their claims, or to make them prove their claim. Because don't be trying to disprove their claim. Disprove is negative suggestions. Focus on positive suggestions. Don't focus on the I'm not this, I'm not that, I can't do this, I can't do that. Focus on who you are and what you can and what you will do. You see? So I am this, I am that. You see, do you have proof of this? Don't say you don't have proof. Say, do you have proof? You know, do not say your laws apply to me. Say, do you have proof that your laws apply to me? You see? Do not say you're not my master. Say, do you have proof that you are my master? You see, there's a difference between positive suggestions, do, and negative suggestions, don't. And positive suggestions, I am, and negative suggestions, which I'm not. If you get caught up in negative suggestions, you fall into their game and their trick, because that's what they want you to do. And when you fall into that I'm not, you're defending. And if you pass the bar where the land is right here, and you pass the bar and enter their ship, and you don't know it's a ship, and you're standing at the defendant's stand, and you're saying I'm not, I can't, you're pretty much agreeing to everything without bringing up evidence, without bringing up contract, without bringing up proof, you know what I'm saying, and without even saying who you are. You see, you haven't said one bit who you are, but you kept screaming, I'm not this, I'm not that, ratchet with it, you know, and that's what they want you to do, and they can charge you with contempt for that too and stuff, because it's annoying to hear someone say I'm not, well then who the fuck are you then? I am that I am. On it for the record, I am that I am, and all my rights are exclusively secured for me, solely, exclusively reserved. So when you go to court, make sure you focus on I can. Don't say I can either. Focus on I am and focus on proof. Proof, evidence, consent, contract. Proof, evidence, consent, and contract. Proof, evidence, consent, and contract. And conditionally accept their claims. Do not disagree with their claims, because that's negative. Conditionally accept their claims, which means you're challenging them. You're engaging in a challenge now to see if there's a controversy. And if there's not controversy, you technically have the natural and legal right to walk the fuck out that room, because there's no proof or evidence to set jurisdiction. There's no subject matter because there's no contract. And if there's no jurisdiction, there's no subject matter. And if there's no subject matter, there's no jurisdiction. And if there's no subject matter jurisdiction, there's no case. If there's no case, then why the heck are they extorting money from your account? And why are they telling you that you owe them? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can they do anything? And if they're breaking their oath of office and they're not in contract to be working for us, then how the heck can they enforce laws that people who are contracted for the people are supposed to be implementing? Why are they acting like they represent you without a contract? Why are they entering pleas for you without a contract, without your consent, forcefully? Why are they rushing you and processing you quick? Why are they invading your space and your rights? Why are they telling you what to do? Is there something missing? Do you know who your creator is? Do you know that there's something spiritual that is unseen that have created this scene? Just as unseen as this air that you're breathing right now, that you don't see, but yet you breathe it and you need it and will die without it. Don't you know that your creator, the Most High Spirit, is the same light? Maybe that's the thing missing, that we're missing light in this society, in this community, in this world, which is knowledge. truth, justice, Yeshaya. And there's just too much ignorance and lies, deception, distractions. And school's distracting you. They're misinforming you, making you stupider. All you people with bachelor's, master's degrees, all this stuff, pardon the way it may sound, but you became stupid. Because they taught you lies, or they didn't tell you the full truth, or there's parts missing, or they've been luring you the whole time by making you pay all this money. And even if you get a scholarship, it's because they're investing in your dumbass, because they know you're a dumbass, and you could potentially work for their dumbass and help them wreck shit by becoming a scientist that helped them make bombs, or becoming a professor that teaches bullshit and doesn't research the truth and actually research what's being said instead of just believing it. There's too much people just submitting tacitly to what's being said and done. Don't even believe what I'm saying. Take note and do research, man. Woman, sister, brother, this is what I've done. You gotta do your research. It takes some sacrifice. You must take some time in your day to know who the fuck you are and why you're here. And I say it like this because I can. I know I'm not these words, and I know these words mean something differently to me because I define my words and my reality the way I define it. I am here to define things, not to conform to what I think they are. Never conform and never rebel. Conditionally accept. Conditionally accept, but always unconditionally love, always unconditionally forgive, but punish when you need to punish, because forgiveness and punishment are two different things. So don't think that when you punish something that need to be punished, you're not forgiving. Forgiving is forgiving, but justice is justice. Sometimes the sword and the guillotine need to chop. Pardon me. It's just life. Good and bad is part of life. There's a time for war, time for peace, time for love, time for hate, time for anger, and time for happiness. There's a time for everything, and this is what we all learn in life, because life is whole. It's complete. That is the Holy Spirit. You see, you must know you have the choice to do what you want to do. Go left, go right. Fuck society's morals and principles and all this shit. It's whatever you know it is, as long as you're not hurting somebody. That's the only law we have. Don't hurt me. I won't hurt you. Don't steal my shit. I won't have to take some of yours. You won't have to reimburse me, and things like that. And if someone do, then they have to play the game. Cause and effect. You owe me. I'm gonna have to put a lien on you. You see? And a lien is putting a claim on property. It's a claim, a property. And the only way it can be broken or dismissed is through rebuttal. Point for point. They must disagree with it point for point and stuff. And on top of that, if they can't do that, they have to pay the lien, which means they have to pay the penalty stated in the lien. And if they can't, then their property gets sold to reimburse what have been taken away, which means I can sell you to the IRS, which is a collection agency, or another collection agency, send them all the paperwork, the contracts, the paperwork, the defaults, certified receipts, the lien, and then they'll pay me for you, pretty much. And I can sell you to the stock market, to a broker, you see, and eventually take money from you. Why I need to reimburse like how they do to you, like garnishing your wages. But first of all, it starts with an affidavit of fact, and it must be true, for you're pretty much putting yourself in trouble, because it's a risk. It's a double-edged sword. That's why it's so powerful. If my affidavit ain't truth, and if what I'm saying is not truth, and what I'm telling you is not truth right now, then rebut it. Point for point, rebut it. I don't need to say anything else. You don't need to know who I am. You don't need to know where I come from. You don't need to know anything except that I am, and do I have a contract with you, and if you can prove that it's me that it's with. And if I do have to have a name, what law, what paperwork, and what legislator told you, or, well, yeah, pretty much told you that I need a name, that I need to comply with what you say, that I do not have consent, that I do not have free will? What law states that I do not have free will? What law states that you are over God, over the Most High Spirit? Have you thought about these things, man? These things need to go in your liens and affidavits. And you can use your lien to put a claim on your vehicle. If someone take it, they owe you money, and you can put that in your lien. If anyone touched my vehicle, they owe me $10 million, blah, yada, yada. You can put a lien on your house. You can put a lien on your children and everything. You can put a lien on anything, and guess who's in charge of it? You. And at the end, where before you put the notary place, where the jurat section's supposed to go, because the place where the notary goes is called jurat. Above it, write that using a notary does not constitute a adhesion, a tacit, or a explicit agreement or consent to foreign jurisdiction. All rights exclusively reserved, all natural, current, and private jurisdiction reserved. Something along that line. So when you get the notary on there, you're not submitting to the notary's jurisdiction either. They're submitting to your jurisdiction. This is how you bring everything into your power, into your will, into your strength, and use your paperwork to speak for you. And use the record to speak for you. Because everything gotta be on it for the record. And if it ain't on it for the record, it have not been spoken into existence. I didn't hear it. I don't know you, never seen it. Give me a house, give me your children, pay child support, do all this stuff, keep paying bills. Because we haven't heard that you said you don't want to pay it. We haven't heard you said you don't want to do it or don't have to do it. We haven't heard you said, where's the contract? We haven't heard you said, hey, I didn't consent. So we're going to keep fucking you in the ass. That's exactly how they're thinking. That's how they're thinking. So you must make sure you make your paperwork speak for you. And use the certified mail receipt as a form of public record, because you can track it. And use your county local office, deed office, your local county deed office, or whatever your public deed office is. Or if you're in a foreign country, use the newspaper or anything that is public record for your country and put it there. You see, and if it ain't rebutted within that time, the whole public agreed to it. You see, and they do that to us too with their new laws and their bylaws. When we don't disagree to it, it ends up becoming a law. And we end up living under new statutes and all this stuff. And man. We have entered a whole new system through not agreeing or disagreeing with the new system. And if we agree with it, we're stupid. And if we disagree with it, we need to really express that and show that. We do not agree with this one world order bullshit, and you guys taking away our trust in our property and stripping us of our assets, of our life, liberty, freedom, and justice, and dishonoring us, and at the same time blasphemy, saying that you are honorable, and abusing us when police is supposed to be protecting us instead of shooting us and killing us and beating us with batons and talking to us down. Shut the fuck up. What I told you, shut up. Get in this vehicle. Shut up before I arrest you. Shut up before I tase you. Shut up before I kick you in the head. Shut up before I put you in jail forever. Using all this fear against us, trying to make us attached to non-light, non-positive energy. They're using all this against us because we haven't still not said we don't consent. Maybe we get frustrated about it. Fuck, man, blah, blah, blah. But you're still doing it. It's like someone telling you, yo, go take a walk. And you're like, I don't want to take a walk. Shit, man, fuck that. And you're walking. You're walking, but then you're talking all this. I don't want to fucking walk. I'm not going to walk. Nigga, you can't tell me to walk, but yet you're walking. So they're controlling you like that. Exactly like that. You're saying one thing and doing something different. You say you believe in a God and a creator, but yet you believe the government is the highest authority above you because of their guns and their weapons and their fear. Fear me, motherfucker. Fear me, nigga. Get out of your vehicle, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, what are you doing? Love beats fear. Confidence beats fear. Courage beats fear. Joy beats fear. Happiness beats anger. Joy beats pain. Ease beats dis-ease. Knowledge beats ignorance. Light beats dark. Somehow the sun radiates stronger than the moon. The day is brighter than the night. After the rain, there's a rainbow. Even during the rain, there is lightning. There's no place that light is not. Light is everywhere. Therefore, let there be light. Let there be knowledge. The knowledge is deep within. The truth is within. The secret is within. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and everything comes from nothing. Although good and bad is part of the same thing. Nothing. They're just experiences. They're just feelings. They're technically just chemical reactions. Because the spirit is neutral. It needs a body so it can experience senses. The 5 senses of sight, feeling, hearing, tasting, touching. all that stuff, intuition, vision, gut feelings, ideas, thoughts, all that, because spirit is just spirit. It just is what it is. It's neutral. So when it's on earth, it gets to polarize itself and experience a portion of its own self. But we all are the same thing and return back to the same ocean of motion of energy and consciousness. We all return back home. Hell and heaven technically is a illusion. Why would the creator create you to be how you are just to send you to hell? It's a game. It's a test. It's an illusion. It's like a game of Monopoly, and these people monopolizing. You need to learn how to play the game and bring the lotto back home. Bring the treasure back home. Bring it all back home. You see what I'm saying? Bring all your assets back home. Protect your assets. Protect your children. They're your assets. Protect your property. That's your asset. Protect your vessel, because it's a property as well as asset. You must know how to make affidavits to claim what you're claiming. And sometimes you need many affidavits. But once you have all those affidavits, many affidavits to be like your solid proof and keep the hard copies, the original, and send the copies. On one affidavit, you can just sum it all up. I am the power of attorney. I'm the trademark copyright owner. Look at Exhibit A. Look at Exhibit B. Look at Evidence A. Look at Evidence B. Look at Attachment A. Look at Attachment B. And you put all this in there to summarize everything. You see? And you use the public record numbers like the Libra number, your apostille numbers, your all your numbers, your QSIP numbers to track things down. So you can pinpoint to that specific data in the system that it has been said, it has been done, it is truth. You might be getting in trouble if you injure this being, one way or another. But I forgive you for your trespasses and sins spiritually. Physically, I forgive you for your trespasses and sins as well. But that does not mean karma will not still bite you in your butt. Because cause and effect is a bitch. If I don't do something to you and help you beat that karma, life will do something worse. So therefore, if I don't react to your ignorance and your trespass, and I go with the flow, you injuring me, putting me in jail, give me a ticket, taking my shit, taking my children, all that, life will injure you much worse. Karma will injure you much worse. And let it be a curse for you people out there, and anyone out there who's trying to injure these innocent indigenous people living this earth, spiritual beings that believe in the almighty pure white light essence. Let it be a curse to those who try to hurt us. May this curse be a shield to us, and it feeds us and guides us from the inside of this pure white light, and be a curse to those who are dark, and eradicate them and make them shatter, dissipate, and expel out of office, out of our country, out of our state, and out of our energetic space. Because the world needs to be clean, and these cancerous cells need to get the fuck out of here. They need some light shed upon them and lit upon them. And we need to learn how to not keep sparking their wick and keep feeding into their game. We need to keep things simple and straight to the point. Contract, consent, I conditionally accept your claims or whatever. If you can prove what you're saying, here's my paperwork, here's my evidence, here's everything that I've been putting on the record. I've stated everything I would need to state in a system like this in order to warn people before they injure me and end up having to pay the penalty. So I'm protected by all this. You can call me a secure party creditor. You see, and I'm also indigenous because I'm not, really a creditor. I'm a borrower of the Most High. The Most High lend me all this stuff. It lends me my words. It lends me my eyes and sight to see, to feel, to write. I channel the Most High in every facet of my life, in every four angles and circle, circumference and sphere of my life. I live with fear because I beat fears. I eat fears. Man, these people need to fear me. I am the one for them to fear because I am confident and I love fears. I love facing my challenges. That does not mean my bones don't shake when these challenges happen. It does not mean that at times that I don't feel like giving up. It does not mean that sometimes I begin to get discouraged. It means that I consume fear, that I eat it, I beat it, I overcome it, I triumph, I gain victory, I gain salvation, everything that I need to do to be what I need to be and get where I need to get, because this is my life. This is your life. You must know how to simply state these things on your affidavits. They are unrebutted. They become a maxim. You see what I'm saying? And you are worthy of your words. If it's truth, you are worthy of your word. So if your word is truth, let me challenge you to your word. You see, let me challenge you. You can challenge me too. That is affidavit. Let's challenge each other. Listen to this game. I bet you all your house, all your property, plus garnishing your wages, all that stuff, that you don't have proof within 3 days. And if you don't challenge me, you pretty much lost, because you don't want to start controversy. There's no controversy. You don't want to dispute it. You don't want to discuss it. You don't want to talk about it. There's some type of hidden agenda there, some type of conspiracy, some type of covetous secrets, some type of occult dealing. So therefore, you might not want me to expose something that I probably said in that paperwork. Therefore, you might end up injuring me, huh? You're plotting and planning to injure me, huh? Okay, you're gonna pay. I'm gonna put a lien on your property, and the Most High is gonna put a lien on your spirit, and your spirit's coming back to us. It's a contract. It's a contract. Let that be known. A blessing and a curse to those who wanna intrude us. May this be our shield, and your shield for those who respect this covenant. So, I mean, as far as examples and stuff, I would probably have to I'm gonna actually make a video. I'll read a few documents to y'all that really helped me about liens, and I'll give you like a audio visual step by step through it. But it's very simple. It's the same thing. Everything's in the form affidavit, stated on truth. You're asking for evidence. You know, you're demanding evidence, not asking. You know, you gotta know wordplay. There's a difference between saying certain things, and know that you are a natural free man on the land or a natural free woman on the land. The only laws that apply to you is common law and natural law. Common natural law, because natural law is common. You don't hurt me, I don't hurt you. Don't invade my space. Don't steal my property and stuff. And that's common natural law, and that's also universal law. And the Most High is your only master. The Most High is your only spirit, your only master, your only president, your only government, police, chief, everything. No one else on earth have that type of authority over you without your consent. So you must know this, that they're constantly below you, and they're trying to get above you because they're below their self. So they need to get over you to feel like they're above their self, but still they're low. And if you let them be above you, you're even lower. You see, because they're under God and you're under them, so that's the lowest. You know what I'm saying? You want to be under God or equal to God, to the Most High, Ahaya, Ashur, Ahaya, the pure white light manifest. You see, you want to be equal to that and eradicate all this darkness and ignorance. And this is metaphorically and technically, directly and subliminally as well. So it will register with your mind over time, but we're in a spiritual battle is what I'm trying to say, to sum it up. And we're battling out physically through the paperwork, through the legal system, and fighting for our rights. And not benefits and privileges, for our rights to do what we are allowed to do, because our Creator said we can do it as long as we don't hurt nobody. Who am I hurting by driving fast? Or who am I hurting by not driving with license? Who am I hurting for driving too slow? Who am I hurting by doing certain things? Now in today's society, because we're dumbed down and we're stupefied and we're dumbasses and stuff, okay, we can't do that type of great genius idea, because people would rush and speed in cars and crash and do all types of stuff because they're used to going by law. They're used to someone else telling them rules and laws. Like when a child is used to his parents telling them when to clean up his room or to clean up his dishes. But now when he gets his own house, he's not cleaning up his own room and dishes because the person who was making those laws for him, like Moses, ain't there. You see? So when you don't listen to your master and to your Creator and take instructions and be self-disciplined and obedient, then you end up serving other masters, and it's a form of punishment. Therefore, the Most High is controlling your punishment and your reward. The more you research, the more you study, the more you seek, you shall find. The more you shall gain salvation, freedom, and triumphs, and thrive in life. And you'll see that everything is temporary. Poverty is temporary. Sadness is temporary. All that's temporary. Happiness, it can be forever. You know, joy can be forever. All that can be forever, but everything technically is best seen as temporary, because it's all given and it's all borrowed at the same time. And we borrow it from the Creator, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, wind to wind. We're nothing but dirt and wind, breath and dirt, earth and wind. So therefore my body is my land, Moor. My body is my land. I am earth. You see what I'm saying? So therefore I have earth type of status, sovereignty. So that's why I made the name of the school spiritually sovereign and indigenous creditors of Mother Earth. Spiritually sovereign, I see me, because I'm spiritually sovereign. My spirit is free. My flesh is a slave, okay, but to me, because my slave works for me. It toils for me. I tell my body what to do and it do it. Body, raise your hand. Body, lower your hand. Body, don't talk. And then I talk, because inwardly I can tell myself to talk. I just told myself, body, talk in my head, because I am my authority. I don't need to verbalize anything out loud to tell this body what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and give it in visions and inspiration, and be creative with things, and make things stand out. Know what appeals to man, and use all this in your contracts and your business and stuff like that. Know what appeals to people. Know what is universal, what is common, what is popular, what is most agreed upon, and pick on that and state these things, you know. So if you don't have freedom to a man, I mean, if I don't have freedom to a man, because if I don't have freedom because a man equal to me say so, therefore you don't have a freedom because I said so. You see what I'm saying? So if I can't tell you that you have no freedom, therefore you cannot tell me that my freedom is not still active. I will enforce it. I will die for this shit. I will do what I need to do, and it will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I came here to fulfill prophecy, and justice will be served. The sword will be swung, and many will be smite. Many will be cut off, literally. And this ain't my words. I'm just channeling again. I am a spirit having a human experience. So that's pretty much it that I have for this video right now. Other than that, like I said, the paperwork that you need to do before you do the affidavits, but you don't need to, and I talked about the acceptance for value in my other videos. I gave you the website, youtube.com/1 Archangel Makintoch. But check out those videos, because I'm tired of kind of repeating myself, and that's why I'm making the school, so I can just pretty much put it up there so you guys can read it and learn. But research the notes that you took today. Do some research, both on the spiritual stuff, the financial stuff, and the governmental stuff. They're getting ready to shut down the government pretty much right now. Well, they already did shut down the government, because they're preparing for a big disaster. This DC and the whole East Coast and West Coast and all the coasts going to kind of be underwater. They're planning the bombers. The dollar's about to crash. They're taking away more of our rights. They're declaring martial law because more people's waking up. They're waking up. The lights activating within now. And on top of that, people are starting to rebel and want to revolutionize the system, because they know that there's no justice in the system. Everything I told you today, they will not honor. They're supposed to, because it makes sense. How the hell are you gonna force me and coerce me and manipulate me into saying I don't want to do it, and lie to me and call me, say that and call yourself honorable? You're fucking crazy, man. You deserve what you get. You deserve what's coming to you, and I'm gonna treat you like you need to be treated. But I'm gonna forgive you. I'm gonna forgive you, and I tell you to repent. You need to repent right now for your wrongdoings, because the Most High is going to punish you worse if you don't repent. Right now, feel bad for what you've done. Feel the shame, feel the grief, feel the guilt, for all that shit that you have done wrong in your life. Admit that you have done stuff wrong in your life, and then forgive it. Let it go, and turn it to love and light. Because when you do that now, the Creator forgave you. Guess who the Creator is? I am. You. You are. Whoever I am, whoever you are, your spirit. It can reward you or it can punish you based on what you feel, based on what you hold in you, based on what you put out. Because what goes around comes back around. And what you put in is what you're getting back out. And what you write and manifest on your affidavits and paperwork is what you're going to be bringing into a 3D life. Is what you're bringing into a 5D, 6D, 2000D life. You see, because you are the dimensions to the words, which is the power behind the gun. Behind the oomph, that's what you are. The fire behind the paperwork. You must know how to enforce your stuff. You must know how to do what you're claiming. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, and you don't study that stuff specifically, how to enforce it and put, where to sell the liens and do all this stuff, and write affidavits and know why, and this time is gonna eat you up. And remember, I said that. ahead of time right now while you don't have a case. And for y'all that do have a case, you may still have time if you're seeing this video. Even if you don't have the affidavits and the contracts in the court system before your court date. You know what I'm saying? You can still go into court at the last notice moment and say these things, you know. Still, where's the contract and consent? Even if I didn't put paperwork in the court ahead of time and today's my last day before court, where's the contract? Where's the consent? I conditionally accept your charges and claims if and only if you can prove it. I challenge you to that. You are a man of honor, right? I challenge you to that. And on top of that, do you have an oath of office to be in your position right now? Because there's rules to that, there's rules and regulations to that seat that you're in, and whoever's sitting in that seat owes the whole hot potato of those laws. Therefore, you can't be hurting me and injuring me and deceiving me here in that seat and still be upholding the oath with integrity, which is a sign. So let me see, what else do you need to do? Yeah, you do need to become a secure party creditor. Look that up, UCC. Trademark, copyright your name. You can contact me if you want me to give you a copy of it. You can contact me. You know, it always be nice to send a gift of $10, $15, $20 or whatever you have. It inspires me, because sometimes, man, like I say, man, I hesitate on even helping people because I just feel like they want to use me. And that's my little war inside. Maybe that's not true, but I go through this war inside. And thank you for y'all who did donate and gift and help out, because I'm doing this all by myself, man, and I barely function through the system, and it's difficult for me to even maintain my life nowadays. And like, you know, it's ridiculous, you know. And feel no pity for me, please. You know, I love this life, I love how I'm living, but I'm just letting you know what pleases me, what makes me happy. At least saying thank you, or I appreciate what you did, or and stuff like that, you know. That's the least that you can do. Like the 3 days minimum according to Truth in Lending Act. I mix everything all the time, by the way. All right, so you need the commercial security agreement as well. You need a power of attorney agreement, the bailior to bailee agreement, private property list. You're also gonna need let me see. You're also gonna need denial of corporate existence, affidavit of notice of intent, understanding and claim of right, cancellation and nullification of all adhesion contracts. Those things are the basic, and all you have to do, well, there's a couple of it. You have to do an indemnity bond as well, which is like insurance, where the straw man insures you that it will pay off all the debts and any injuries incurred, especially because the straw man have to pay you as a power of attorney. You see, it has to actually pay you as a power of attorney, so you got to know how to receive the funds from its account without being it as well. You see, by putting authorized rep after your signature wherever you write things. And you got to know how to make invoices, you know. So like, say for instance, if you work for someone, you're power of attorney for someone, you have to give them an invoice of how much they owe you for the invoice, for the service and for the charge. You see, so with the straw man, you have to make an invoice, it accepted for value, and you send it to the Secretary of Treasury to accept it for value, all that, or you send it to the IRS and stuff with the paperwork, and they go ahead and pay you that money that the straw man is supposed to be paying you. And I don't know if they go after the straw man for the money still, so there might be a loophole to this, because when you sell something to the IRS, they go after that thing themselves. You see, so I don't know, man. It's best to not be trying to gain money off of your straw man that much, but to use it to discharge debt and things like that, you know, and earn your money and income another way. Especially when it comes to using their 1099 OID forms and their tax forms and stuff, because their tax forms is for their company, private company, their private jurisdiction, their illusion. So if you're using it, you're subjecting to their illusion. Just like if they use your private car and your private property, which you have a lien on, they're subjecting to your jurisdiction, which is the lien. You see, so contract is jurisdiction, public announcement is jurisdiction, and stuff like that. Well, if you guys have any questions, contact me via email, please, because YouTube doesn't show me my comments and my messages. I don't know what's going on. Illuminati and the government's running this whole YouTube stuff and YouTube and spying on us through the NSA like crazy. Our phone calls, I'm being monitored now. You being monitored. We're being surveillance, cameras everywhere, chips in $1, the new $100 and stuff. They're censoring people on YouTube and tracking people on Facebook and sending secret agents on them on Facebook and sneaking through their pictures and their likes and what they do every day, what's on their mind. Oh man, we're in so much hell, guys. I swear, if we don't find light, a lot of people is gonna be buried with their eyes open, peeled back, tongue hanging out, while still breathing. 6 feet deep or more, because they're dirty, piled on top of other people in one spot, because they're cold-hearted. They'll pile a bunch of people alive into one home, like shut the hell up and bury you. Man, it's dirty, man. I believe that there's something more pro-aggressive that we need to do to solve this, other than just this paperwork. Something more pro-aggressive, pro-ancient, you know, more ancient and indigenous when it came to intrusion, when it came to threats, when it came to having to protect ourselves, to protect our tribe, to protect our children, the asset. There were certain things that we have done to protect and solve that. And because we're not doing that particular thing, because we're being pacified through peace and love, well, peace and love, false peace and love, which the holy books say will come, and it's here and now and present, which there is no peace to come, especially with a Muslim president like Barack Hussein Obama, which is a leader of the Al-Qaeda and the Muslims and all that stuff, which are about to invade us. It's very difficult, you know, to see through the bullshit. So a lot of people is giving into this bullshit, which you guys call selling your soul, and a lot of people are selling their children through the birth certificate, which is for a form of selling their soul. A lot of people aren't rebutting their contracts and paperwork, which is a form of selling your soul. A lot of people is not asserting their rights or standing up for their rights, which is like giving away your soul. Just, you know, people just don't know they have a soul, a spirit, and a spiritual purpose, that they have life, that they have purpose, and they matter, that their voice do matter. And when we're all assembled and we're all united for one powerful idea, is that we can shake a whole nation and change a whole nation overnight with aggression and with peace at the same time if we need to kill and not kill if we need to be versatile, to do what we need to do in this illusion, because ultimately there is no heaven and hell. That system was based off Satan. Satan created that system. It's the forbidden apple of good and evil. There's no good or bad. There's no war and peace. There just is. What is what you need to do is what you need to do, and what you do is going to help you out one way or another, so you need to do it, you know. And that's what they've been doing, and they've been helping themselves for a while by stealing from you, lying to you, cheating you, manipulating you to get what they need to get done. So we need to do what we need to get done too, and restore truth and peace in our society, whatever way we need to do that, and to get rid of whatever cancerous ticks that we need to get rid of, and reconstruct our governing mental. You see, our own mentality and our psychology. To not be afraid of people when they speak strong, or to be afraid when someone look at us dead in our eye too long. To be able to breathe calm, slow, and deep, even when they're using the word prison, jail, hell, devil, Satan, all that. To be able to still remain calm and still as water, and your forehead remain relaxed, and you can see through all the bullshit that's being spewed. You must know how to see through the bullshit. You must know how to use your third eye, the eye of your mind, your spiritual eye, your energetic eye, and use your gut feelings to sense what is being said, what is being expressed and conditioned and termed, what is being written, what it really means, its true definition based on its author, and not using too much imagination when it comes to their realm. So when it comes to their realm, their words, their game, you have to see it the way they see it. You cannot see it the way you're seeing it no more. Therefore, the worst thing that can happen to someone is for someone to down their knees, they're on their feet. Is for someone to choose security over freedom, to choose to be safe instead of choosing to be free. And the other worst thing for someone to go through is to pretty much give up their rights and give up their will without even saying it. That's just way too easy. Way too easy. You didn't even say it and they got it. Like, what the fuck? And if they don't, you need to start questioning when did they get authority over it? You know? So I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go. I hope this video was helpful. We'll make another video where I actually get into the lien. This may be a part 1. I'm not sure. It can be or it can be a video to itself. But I will you will know. You will know. So check back on my page. Check me out. Ahaya Shur Ahaya, everyone. Barakanta, which means bless you. Ahaya Shur Ahaya mean I am that I am. And may the pure white light spirit always be with you in the vibration of peace, truth, and light. Yeshaya. Shalom. I am Ahaya Yashaya. Protect my people.